The rally or protest here today is bringing to light how the networks withhold information on the abortion industry and abortion information. How would you say the networks have done this? Could you give some specific
They
examples?
don't just withhold information, they distort information, and they freely admit that most among them are pro-abortion, so they don't understand our culture. To them, we are like a foreign country, so they don't know the right questions to ask. Sometimes I give them credit for being honestly ignorant. I mean that in the best way, but they don't try hard to learn about us. And of course, when you have that persuasion, which they admit, they do report from that bias, and they fail to report things that they should report. So it's a whole package of not just distorting, but omitting and twisting things a little bit, and not delving deep enough, not asking the right questions. Mark Lamont Hill, who's a pro-choice talking head, said after Kirsten Powers outed them during the Gosnell trial for not covering the Gosnell trial, he admitted, and many of them admitted, that they had a pro-abortion bias. The fundamental reason is that they come to journalism with a pro-abortion bias. That's the basis for them reporting it from that skewed viewpoint. A perfect example is pro-abortion filibustering State Senator Wendy Davis from Texas, who is a star now because she tried to take on the 20-week ban in Texas, was welcomed, invited by the National Press Club this very week to speak, and at the end of her speech she was given a standing ovation. Now you have Lila Rose, who has been a part of investigations that I think expose Planned Parenthood and are as Pulitzer-worthy as Woodward and Bernstein when they exposed Watergate. Never been invited to the press club, and were she ever invited, I doubt she'd get a standing ovation at the end. She would probably get a lot of curiosity and hostility. Carpin, the late-term abortionist in Houston, they're trying to ignore. They ignored Gosnell. When abortion clinics are closed, as so many are being closed, just especially in 2013, they defend them, or they don't cover them, or they try to take their side and say that we're over-regulating them when it's really a health and safety issue. So from many different angles, the liberal press does protect the abortion industry, particularly Planned Parenthood. Over the past 2 decades, with the onset of talk radio and then Fox News and then blogs and websites and Twitter and Facebook, we're going around the media now and filling in the void that they created. But they still are a powerful force to be reckoned with, especially with low information people who don't really delve into reading, and researching like you and I would, and they just hear headlines, and see something scrolling across the screen. They don't ever find out the real truth. Some people, when they're polled, don't even know that the nation's largest abortion provider, Planned Parenthood, even commits abortions. Things like that. The people who don't really get beneath the surface, I think, are not being served well by the liberal media.